Well, that was Sunday Night Football, Bucks Rams. As a Buccaneers fan, I am very disappointed with what we showed on Sunday Night Football. First of all, fire Josh Grizzard and Todd Bowles. They're both useless. Start off with the offensive play calling. Josh Grizzard, all he knows is screen passes and slants. What happened to the Buccaneers team that was throwing dimes down the field to make Emeka Egbuka the offensive rookie of the year? They used to scheme up deep shots down the field. Now I get the Rams defense is really good, but the best you can come up with is screen passes, run the ball down the middle, and slants. That is not going to beat anybody. Baker Mayfield is a lot better of a quarterback than just a check down Charlie 5 yards every single play. He throws the deep ball. We know that's how they beat Seattle, because his deep ball ability. And then Todd Bowles on the defensive side, terrible. There wasn't a single time the Bucs had locked down the Rams wide receivers. Matthew Stafford, easily the MVP, but still, he had open daylight for all his receivers. There was not a threat on the field. The Buccaneers defense, every single person on that secondary, oh my goodness, that was terrible. That looked like a JV squad, practice squad team versus the Super Bowl champions. That was totally embarrassing what the Buccaneers showed. Todd Bowles, he's supposed to be a defensive mastermind, but he was scheming guys open, and he's playing for the defense of the Bucs. You are not the OC of the Rams. You are supposed to cover those receivers, and not once was a corner for the Bucs ever close to a Rams receiver. Devontae Adams was wide open every single play, and when they weren't throwing to Adams, Puka Nacua was open. Even their tight ends were seeing daylight of 20, 30 yards. 20-yard passes was a bare minimum for Matthew Stafford in that game. He could launch that ball with ease down the field and not worry about the defense. That's why they kept throwing it. They were up 30 freaking points, and he's still throwing it because they didn't think that the Bucs defense was a threat at all. Now, Matthew Stafford is a pro's pro. He is the MVP. But like I said, that Bucs defense is atrocious. That looked like the worst defense in the NFL. And I'm a Bucs fan, but that looked worse than the Bengals against the Patriots. It's like there wasn't even a defense on the field. Matthew Stafford was just throwing the ball. They're in practice. They're just throwing the ball. But yeah, that's what I have to say about that defense. Fire Josh Grizzard and Todd Bowles. They are both terrible. I mean, Todd Bowles has a ceiling. I said last week that I didn't see why people wanted Todd Bowles fired, because he played decent, or his calls were decent throughout this year. But after that performance, every time the Bucs are on a primetime game, we just fail because Todd Bowles feels the pressure and calls the worst plays imaginable. Baker gets injured. That is so unfortunate, because now that opens the gap between the Bucs and the Panthers for the division. Baker might miss time because it was a shoulder injury. So the Panthers might actually beat the Bucs for the division and stop the Bucs streak, because Teddy Bridgewater, I know he came in short notice, but geez, he's not that good. Hopefully he can prove me wrong next week, but still, this team is nothing without Baker Mayfield behind the center. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that Sunday Night Football. Rams, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford's the MVP, and their team is phenomenal. They don't have a flaw. Their worst flaw, their corners were small. They got the Titans corner in the trade deadline, and then they need a kicker. Their kicker has gotten better. Yeah, 7-34, embarrassing loss for the Bucs. Disappointed to be a Bucs fan, and yeah, I mean, hopefully we can hold the division, but with Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know if that's possible, especially with Josh Grizzard and Todd Bowles calling those plays that they were last night. If they do that ever again, we're not winning another game this season. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that game.